We are cooked, guys. I know I'm late to the party, but I just wanted to give some of my thoughts about last week's debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And look, I know I'm not necessarily the most well-versed in all things politics, but like some of you watching, I'm a voter. And so I have some concerns. And when I say I have some concerns, that's me putting it lightly. There is absolutely no way to sugarcoat this. Joe Biden looked terrible. And I say this as someone who voted for him in 2020. He looked completely lost up there. With something going on with his voice, he appeared like a feeble old man. And with something else going on with him, he appeared completely incoherent at times.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
And what makes this crazy, it's not like Trump even necessarily did good. I mean, there was points where he led with straight up lies, but Biden wasn't even able to push back. Not even on topics where you would expect he'd be strong on, like abortion. Instead of answering the question, he actually started like rambling off, talking about immigration to the point where he eventually couldn't even finish his thought, leading to one of many mic drop moments by Trump like this one.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Remember, guys, in a debate between two people, you are rarely judged by your personal best. You're actually judged based on how you did compared to your opponent. And so even though I don't think this was necessarily Trump's best performance compared to Biden, he looked great, even presidential at times. And look, I will say this. What's a little upsetting about this is that in 2020, Biden didn't necessarily commit to it, but he did pretty much state that he would be a bridge to the next generation. And in order to do that, he would simply not announce re-election for 2024. And look, I get it. If he's actually in good health and he's actually up to it, then why wouldn't he announce for re-election in 2024, as every other president before him has pretty much done? The problem is, we all know what we just saw, and he does not appear like someone who is up for the task of what is the most stressful job on the planet, the president of the United States. And mind you, he's 81 right now and wants to be doing this for another 4 years, ending his presidency at 85. And for reference, guys, let's take a look at how he was not that long ago in 2020.
I continue to think we have to make fundamental changes in civil rights. And those civil rights, by the way, include not just only African Americans, but the LGBT community.
He wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I oppose.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if.
Big difference between then and now. And an even bigger difference if you look at this clip from 2012, where he absolutely destroyed Paul Ryan.
You can cut tax rates by 20% and still preserve these important preferences for middle-class taxpayers.
Not mathematically possible.
It is mathematically possible. It's been done before. It's precisely what we're proposing.
It has never been done before.
It's been done a couple of times, actually.
It has never been
Jack
done
Kennedy
before.
lowered tax rates, increased growth. Ronald Reagan.
Now you're Jack Kennedy.
Ronald Reagan. Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say we are not dealing with the same Joe anymore. And look, I'm not even saying he hasn't been able to accomplish some things during his presidency. And on the flip side, there's some things I would have some critique for him on. But at this point, that's not even what we're focused on anymore, as everyone appears to be solely focused on what appears to be his mental decline. And what is so frustrating about this all is that he, his inner circle, and The people closest to him in general let him run again. And so as a result of that, they basically canceled the 2024 Dem primary. I mean, technically there was a primary, but there was no debates. And some states actually canceled the primary and gave Joe Biden the victory. In fact, some people don't even know that there were candidates who ran against him, like Cenk Uygur, Marianne Williamson, Dean Phillips, and RFK before he decided to drop out and run as an independent. And what's crazy is Joe said he wouldn't debate any of those candidates. And the DNC and everyone on the media totally ran with that. But what sucks about it is that had he actually debated, we would have been able to see his current state much sooner. And at that point, we could have determined whether or not we actually wanted him to continue to be the standard bearer. But again, the DNC and his inner circle chose to hide him from us. In fact, he's been hiding from us the whole time, doing less press conferences than any of the other modern presidents at this point in their presidency, and turning down interviews that would have actually benefited him had he simply been up to it. It's truly a very sad thing when the current leader of our country is in the state he's in right now. And I don't think realistically he can expect that the country will have the same confidence for him to continue for another 4 years, especially given what we just saw. And look, I understand that administrations are not just the president. The president has to populate their cabinet with subject matter experts to help them enact their vision. But at the end of the day, they are the leaders and the ones in charge of the whole operation. So the voting public needs to feel confident that they can manage it all. And if at any point we feel like they cannot, we simply wouldn't reelect them. Look, I think it's fair to say, even though it's complicated, and at this point we've been robbed of the opportunity to select a different candidate through the primaries, we got to go a different direction. There is a process in place to swap out the candidate before the DNC convention, or at it, I think. And I think this isn't a hot take by any means. Joe Biden needs to drop out. As with every passing day, people are continuing to lose confidence in his ability to run this country, let alone win a re-election campaign. Anyways, that's my perspective. What's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe, as I got much more content like this on the way. So until next time, YouTube, peace.